Mein Name ist Adolf Hitler und I am Nazi. Und this Nazi alternative uniform. Und this week I mostly play Wolfenstein, The New Order.
Only joking with you, it was me, Colm all along, your friendly neighbourhood Irishman. I'm not German or a Nazi sympathiser. It was just a bit of a joke, but now that I've made you uncomfortable, I can talk about Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is easily one of 2014's best games so far. Genuinely, absolutely fantastic. Currently, I'm about a third of the way through the game, and the thing that surprised me initially was that it isn't all just shooting the heads off of Nazis, and there actually is a good bit more to it. There's a ton of stealth sections. There's actually a lot of sections in the game which allow you to either go in all guns blazing or try and go in and perform a couple of takedowns, because when you enter an area and if the alarm is sounded, there's one person in the area called the commander who can call down reinforcements. So the clever thing would be to find him and take him out first and then take out the rest of the lads. And this is also set, I won't, just in case you haven't played it, I won't tell you exactly when it's set, but it is an alternative look at what may have happened with World War II. So it's an alternative history tale, and the vibe I get off of it is a real Quentin Tarantino and Glorious Bastards type vibe, because it marries the surreal with something that at times is trying to be quite deep with its main character in BJ Blazkowicz. And to be fair, even though he is just going out just killing Nazis, and there is that element to Blazkowicz, there is also a more kind of a tender side to him as well. Being only a third of the way through the game, I was a bit skeptical about actually doing a French letters video on it, because of the fact that I just wasn't too sure. Am I jumping the gun in terms of my judgment for it? But as the game progresses, it just keeps on getting better and better. So if you haven't played Wolfenstein: The New Order just because, I don't know, you are a Nazi sympathiser, or maybe you're just like, it's probably just killing a load of people and just shooty bang bang. Yeah, there's an element of shooty bang bang, but there is also a good bit more to this game as well. I highly recommend it.
Wolfenstein, das ist gut. Isn't that right, die Panzerhund?
Hello, this week I have mostly been playing the Swapper on PSN. I got me torch, I'm going to go and solve some puzzles. So the Swapper is a puzzle game, really. I mean, it's almost an evolution of the point and click idea, because you're controlling this small little guy who walks around solving puzzles, but I suppose that's where the point and click stuff ends. Although you use the right stick to move a small pointer around, what you have to do is solve increasingly difficult puzzles by using, I guess, the Swapper tool that lets you send out a clone of yourself, and then you can switch to that clone as long as you can get the dot on them to press R1 or R2 and switch to them. The problem arises in the fact that if there's red light, you can't swap through it. There are other things that don't let you put the new Swapper clones there, but that's kind of where the difficulty comes in. The puzzles get harder and harder, as I say, and pretty quickly they make you scratch your head. Unless it's the times I've been playing it, it seems pretty hard, but you know, it looks gorgeous. You can see that really it's got a lovely look to it, a really nice atmosphere, and although I'm mostly playing it on the PS4, I bet this looks really good on the Vita because the small avatar would perhaps feel less small on a small screen, whereas on the big screen it does admittedly feel quite small. I don't know if I'll ever make it out of this place. It's scary and atmospheric, and I just don't know if I can ever live on the outside world. But
what the heck are you doing, Daddy?
I'm creating atmosphere.
In the middle of the day?
So although I'm not very far into it, I think I'm going to keep playing. I may switch over to the Vita version just for the visuals, as I say, and of course it's got cloud save, as most of Curve Studios stuff does. It's a really pretty game, very atmospheric game, and you can actually read our review of this on godisageek.com right now, if you're watching this video, where Mikhail gave it, I think, 9 out of 10, so he really loved it, which also makes me want to play more of it, because what I've seen so far, there's enough to make me want to keep going with it. I believe it's out in August on PlayStation 3, 4 and Vita, and I think it's already around now on PC if you want to just grab it right this instant. But yeah, it seems like another really cool indie game, and Curve Studios kind of just keep publishing great games. I mean, just look at their history. So there you go, that's the Swapper on PS4 for me. This doesn't even work. Seriously, can we... is there nothing we can do about this?
So over the past week I have been playing Portal 2 again. Now it's probably one of the definitive single player experiences of the last generation for me personally, but this time around this week I've actually been replaying the excellent cooperative mode with my lovely fiance, and we're actually having a pretty good time replaying it. It's been a good few years since we last played through all the co-op missions, so it's actually been as if we've been playing it from fresh, because it's been that long that we've forgotten how to do a lot of the things, and there's a lot of cases now where like I just can't remember, and some of these missions and levels are just so difficult that it's been really difficult trying to get back into the swing of things, which is kind of part of the fun, especially if you're playing in a cooperative experience, because it's nice to have the both of you on the same level. It makes it a lot more satisfying when you help each other out. It's not always one person always figuring out or already knowing all the answers to everything. So it's been a very good week of playing Portal 2. What I particularly like about it is just the way the puzzles are so well thought out. You've got your few, it eases you in very well, and with quite a few little easy ones, simple things. Hit the switch, how do you get to the switch? It's all the way up there, or you've got to put a portal up there, easy, job done. And when it starts adding the extra layers to everything, you've got the light bridges, you've got the various gels, it adds these features gradually, and it becomes this very deep puzzle game, and it's easily one of my favourite puzzle games of all time, just because it's always adding something different. It's always easing you into new ideas, but not too fast that it's not, it's overwhelming. It's just the right kind of difficulty curve to keep you going. It's always kind of feeding you things. It's it's feeding you various bits of humour from GLaDOS or Peabody and Atlas, your two avatars in the game that you and your partner play as. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful game. It's just so playable, and it's a game that I've played so many times now, and I kind of come back to it every now and again, at least in the single player, just because it's a relatively bite-sized experience that you can replay, and it's just, you always pick up new things when you're playing. You always notice new spots in the level, little Easter eggs here and there, and it's just one of the best games that I think Valve have ever come out with, and it's just wonderful. It's just constantly rewarding. Even this is probably the second or third time I've gone through the cooperative missions, and it's still rewarding. I mean, this game is probably 3, 4, 5 years old now, and it's just that good that it just continues to just keep bringing you new things, and very few games do that still, I find. But it's it's just everything about this game that I just love. It's just the sense of humour. I think GLaDOS is easily one of my favourite characters in the past 10 years, just because of it's the voice, it's the things she says, it's the kind of passive aggressiveness at times. It's just everything, that personality, and then you've got the personality of Wheatley, the personality of Peabody and Atlas. You've got the little snippets of Cave Johnson talking about exploding lemons, and it's just wonderful. It's just a very satisfying game for me personally, and I think that's probably why I keep coming back to it again and again and again. And I'm sure, like, if you're watching this now and you own Portal 2, seeing this video is probably giving you the urge to play the game right now. So you should probably do that as soon as you finish watching this. So go on, as soon as this is done, just flick Windows, load up Portal 2, have a go. It's still as satisfying as it's always been, and I kind of want another Portal. I could go for a Portal 3. I think there's a lot of this world that is still untapped, and I just want more.